It often begins in the smallest ways. A little stiffness in your knees when you wake. A quiet moment in the kitchen where you stand, forgetting why you came in. Or that slow, creeping fatigue that makes afternoons feel heavier than they used to. We tell ourselves it's just part of aging. And maybe it is. But what if that tiredness, that brain fog, that aching in your joints wasn't just age? What if your body isn't giving up but softly asking you to listen, to feed it differently? The truth is, no one ever taught us how to eat after 60. Not our parents, not our doctors. So we keep reaching for what's comfortable, foods that may taste familiar but quietly drain the clarity from our minds, the strength from our muscles, and the energy from our days. But here's the quiet miracle: it's not too late. And the answer might not come from a bottle or a breakthrough, it might already be waiting in your kitchen. They say aging is a slow decline, but I believe it's a slow unfolding. A season of life not meant for fading, but for deepening. At this stage, every choice matters more, especially what we choose to eat. Not to chase youth, but to preserve the life we love. To stay strong enough to carry our stories forward. Today, I want to share 10 simple foods, low in carbs, free from sugar, and rich in what your body truly needs in this chapter. These aren't trendy, flashy health fads. They are quiet allies. And number 10? Most people forget it exists. But for seniors like us, it might just be the most powerful of all. So stay with me. What we explore next may not only nourish your body, but gently restore the parts of you that time was never meant to take. And if this message speaks to you, I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Story. This is more than just a channel, it's a place to feel seen, valued, and guided as we grow wiser together. Sometimes we don't realize how far we've drifted from feeling sharp until something brings it back. A forgotten word suddenly remembered. Because in this chapter of life, food isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about honoring what still works and giving it exactly what it needs to keep going strong. Not all nourishment comes with noise. Some of the best things for your body arrive quietly, like the simple elegance of an avocado. For years, many were told to avoid fat, but this kind? It's the kind that supports your heart, steadies your blood sugar, and helps absorb the very nutrients your body craves in its wiser years. Packed with potassium, fiber, and those gentle, healthy fats, an avocado doesn't shout its power, it simply comforts, like the steady hand of a lifelong friend. There's something about its creamy texture that feels familiar, like the softness we grow into with age. Mash it into a silky mousse with a hint of vanilla, or enjoy it chilled with a touch of sea salt. However you serve it, you're not just feeding your body, you're honoring its quiet need for balance, richness, and peace. Because sometimes the foods that feel the most indulgent are actually the ones your body has been patiently waiting for. It's funny how something so small, so ordinary, can carry so much quiet power. For years, we were told to skip the yolks, to fear the fat, the cholesterol. But nature doesn't make mistakes in balance. Inside each egg is a perfect design. Rich protein in the white, and in the yolk, a treasure trove of choline, vitamin D, and nutrients that keep memory sharp and muscles strong. As we grow older, muscle isn't just about strength, it's about freedom. And memory? That's how we keep the people we love close, even when they're far. Maybe that's why eggs feel sacred in a way, boiled gently, cracked open with care. It's the kind of food you can make with your granddaughter on a quiet Sunday, passing down not just a recipe, but a ritual. A sprinkle of salt, a pat of butter, a little family story shared in between. Sometimes the foods that carry us forward are the ones that remind us where we come from. Some foods speak softly but carry great strength, and spinach is one of them. It doesn't demand attention, doesn't boast bold colors or exotic origins, but beneath those deep green leaves lies a quiet kind of power. Rich in vitamin K, A, and iron, it helps keep your bones strong, your vision clear, your energy steady. As we age, it's not just about eating well. It's about choosing foods that help us stay upright, focused, and independent. Spinach doesn't rush the body. It supports it. Like an old friend who listens more than speaks. Blend it gently into a green smoothie for a light afternoon lift, or wilt it into warm olive oil with garlic, letting its goodness unfold slowly. It's not flashy, but it's faithful. And sometimes the simplest ingredients, those we almost overlook, are the ones that keep us grounded. In a world that moves fast, spinach reminds us that strength doesn't need to shout to be felt. Some foods don't just nourish the body, they center it. Full-fat Greek yogurt is one of those rare gifts that feels cool, calming, and healing, like a wise pause between chapters of life. With each spoonful, you're not just feeding hunger, you're soothing the gut, restoring balance from within. Rich in probiotics, it tends to your digestion like a careful gardener, tending the soil of your well-being. The protein strengthens you quietly, the healthy fats keep you steady, and together, they create a kind of stillness that stays with you long after breakfast is over. Add crushed walnuts for warmth, a sprinkle of cinnamon for comfort, maybe a touch of olive oil for richness, and suddenly you're not just eating. You're creating a moment, something soft, sustaining, and utterly yours. In a world full of noise and speed, this is the kind of food that reminds you to slow down and listen to your body, your breath, and the life you still carry forward. Sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest wisdom. Walnuts may be tiny, but each one holds a world of quiet healing. Packed with plant-based omega-3s, they work behind the scenes, soothing inflammation, protecting the heart, and gently supporting the mind when clarity feels just out of reach. And perhaps it's no accident that each wrinkle in a walnut resembles a miniature brain, as if nature left us a gentle clue. This is food meant to feed thought, preserve memory, and soften the weight of age. They don't ask much. Just a slow chew, a moment of stillness, maybe a quiet afternoon by the window. As you snack on them mindfully, one by one, you're not just nourishing your body, you're practicing presence. Let the flavor linger. Let it remind you that care doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, health begins with noticing what you're holding. And in a handful of walnuts, you just might find the calm your day had been waiting for. There's a quiet elegance to olive oil, something almost sacred in the way it moves. It flows like time. If used with care, it enriches everything it touches. For centuries, it's been the golden thread running through the world's healthiest lives, not by accident, but by wisdom. Rich in monounsaturated fats, it cradles the heart, supports circulation, and helps your body absorb the vitamins tucked inside every leafy green and vibrant vegetable. But its magic isn't only on the plate. Warm a little between your palms, smooth it over your hands, and feel how it softens not just skin, but the pace of your day. There's nourishment in every drop, inside and out. In an age that often chases the new, olive oil reminds us that some of the best answers are timeless. So whether you drizzle it on roasted vegetables or massage it gently into tired knuckles, know this: you're not just using an ingredient. You're practicing a kind of care passed down through generations. There's a kind of strength that doesn't come from noise or perfection, but from depth. And in the world of food, chicken thighs carry that kind of quiet strength. Dark meat, deep nourishment. Rich in iron, zinc, and full-bodied protein, they offer not just flavor, but substance, fuel for bones, muscles, and immune systems that have carried us through decades. While the world often praises lean cuts, there's something honest and satisfying about the juiciness of a well-seasoned thigh roasted to a golden crisp. Maybe it's the kind of meal you make on a Sunday evening, when the grandkids are over and stories float over the table like steam from the pan. No fancy ingredients, just warmth, laughter, and food that reminds everyone where they came from. And in those moments, passing the plate, slicing into something tender, you realize that nourishment is never just about nutrients. Sometimes, it's about the comfort of being together, fed by hands that remember, and flavors that linger long after the dishes are done. Some foods don't need to be reinvented, just remembered. Cabbage is one of them. Humble, unassuming, yet quietly powerful, it was once a staple in every grandmother's kitchen, steaming gently on the stove, filling the house with a scent that somehow said everything would be okay. Packed with vitamin C and fiber, it supports digestion, calms inflammation, and brings the kind of gentle nourishment our bodies crave as we grow older. It doesn't shout for attention. It simply shows up, again and again, doing what it's always done. Heal from the inside out. Simmer it slowly into a weekend cabbage soup, light and warming. Something to enjoy in silence with a piece of bread and your own thoughts. Let it soften not just your stomach, but your breath, your pace, your heart. In a world full of fast fixes and loud solutions, cabbage reminds us that healing doesn't have to be complex, it just has to be consistent and kind. Some things stand the test of time not because they're flashy, but because they never stopped working. Sardines are like that. Small but mighty, just like wisdom passed down through generations. Tucked inside each tiny fish is a powerhouse of calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3s, all wrapped in a form your body can easily use and quietly thank you for. And because they're low on the food chain, they carry little mercury, making them safer than many of their larger, shinier cousins. But beyond nutrition, sardines evoke something simpler. A tin opened at the kitchen table, a squeeze of lemon, a dab of mustard, a quick, humble meal that nourishes without fuss. Maybe it reminds you of someone, an uncle, a neighbor, a father who never needed much to stay strong. Sardines aren't trendy, but they don't need to be. They're reliable, unpretentious, a quiet kind of brilliance that, like all good things, reveals its value over time. Maybe what we've been searching for all along isn't some miracle cure or secret formula, but a return to what's simple, real, and nourishing. These 10 foods aren't just ingredients. They're invitations to slow down, to listen more closely to our bodies, to feed ourselves with care, not fear. Because at this stage in life, every bite is more than just fuel, it's a quiet act of self-respect. And perhaps that's the most powerful wisdom of all, not trying to outrun age, but learning how to walk with it gently, wisely, one meal at a time. If this journey spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Story. Here, we don't just share tips. We share perspective, reflection, and a way of living that honors where you've been and where you still hope to go. Until next time, take good care. And remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're right here in every mindful choice you make today.